All right, my favorite segment, when we bring you veterans in the betting space. This man, you've seen him and heard him all over SiriusXM. He's a part of Picks Wise. Big ups, a returning guest, one of my favorite, Adam Ronis. Adam, great to be with you, my friend.
Yeah, great to be back, man. I love talking sports betting with you, and we have another week in the NFL where we have to make some money, so let's do it.
Yes, sir. I love it. All right, let's start with your biggest shock for the weekend here. I went down the rabbit hole and bought the Cowboys at home, so I caught a huge L there. But overall, what was your biggest shock?
I think the Rams are being overvalued in the market. They were favorites on the road in Green Bay, and Green Bay's been one of the best teams against the spread this year. This was a big game for the Rams coming off the bye week, and they go in there and they lose. 3 consecutive games. They're 4-7 against the spread this year. And the problem is they really haven't beaten anyone good outside of Tampa Bay in week 3. And their combined record of their opponents they've beaten this year, 27-50-1. So they really haven't shown much. Obviously, they've done a lot on paper, Odell Beckham, Von Miller, but it hasn't resulted on the field. And the other thing to me that's shocking is the Seahawks offense. I'd rather watch a high school football offense right now. It's pathetic. They run 54 plays per game. They're boring, and they do not get the ball in the hands of their top playmakers, and it's frustrating to watch.
Incredibly frustrating, Adam. And, hey, I was all over the Packers. You don't go warm weather at Lambeau. I learned that lesson. All right, so let's talk about the AFC East. Huge implications going into this weekend's matchup. Got the Bills dancing with the Pats. How do you see that one? Or overall, from the AFC East standpoint, would you fire on either team before this matchup?
Yeah, I think if you want the Patriots, you fire now because the Bills are favored to win the division right now. They face each other twice, so it's in the hands of New England. New England is on a roll right now, 6 consecutive wins. Now, I look at them and I go, okay, they really haven't beaten anyone. I can't say that in the NFL anymore. You got to beat up on the bad teams. They are doing that. They've won their last 6 games by an average of 24.6 points. Here's what you like of them. One of the greatest coaches in NFL history in Bill Belichick. They don't beat themselves. They don't turn it over. They force turnovers, 17 turnovers in the last 6 games. Meanwhile, the Bills are 3-3 in their last 6. They haven't beaten anyone good outside of Kansas City back early in the season. And Josh Allen has turned it over. And how do you beat New England? You run the football on them. Look at the Titans, 270 rushing yards. They still could have won, but that's how you beat them. The Bills' strength is not their running game. So, yes, if you want to bet on New England to win the division, you do it before this game.
And I don't want to jump too far ahead, but if they do beat the Bills, Adam, how do you see that number outright to win the AFC? It's at plus 550. I'm seeing pending where you shop. Do you think, if you like them before the Bills, this could be the best time to fire at them to just come out of the AFC?
Yeah, because it's only going to get worse as far as the odds. So this would be the time to do it. I think people still don't believe in New England because they do have a rookie quarterback, and we didn't expect this before the year. But the AFC is so wide open. We can go through each of the teams. They all have flaws. And it goes back to, again, Patriots don't beat themselves. Great coach. They're well prepared. So they certainly have a shot because I don't feel good about most of the teams at the top of the AFC.
And now let's talk a little AFC, NFC wild card. You saw last night so many teams in the hunt, even the Washington football team. I'm even seeing the Bears are somehow making the graph when we're looking at it on Monday Night Football wrapping up. Do you have a team you're buying stock in, one in the AFC, one in the NFC, or one of both?
In the AFC, it's the Colts. They're 5-2 in their last 7 games. And look at the losses. A 3-point overtime loss to Tennessee when they had some of their healthy players, and a 7-point loss to Tampa Bay this week in a game they should have won. They were up double digits in the third quarter, and they turned the ball over and kind of gave that game away. They did a really good job against Tom Brady. That offense was not impressive. They shut down Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So their defense is good. They're a physical team. They can run the football. And their schedule is pretty good. They have winnable games with Houston and Jacksonville. Now, they got to play New England. That's going to be key. And they're on the road at Arizona. But I think they can do it. In the NFC, I think I go with the Vikings. 10 of their 11 games have been decided by 8 points or less. They recently beat the Packers and the Chargers. They play a ton of close games. They have the lowest interception percentage in the NFL. They have the Bears twice, the Lions, the Steelers at home. They do have the Rams and Packers, but they already beat Green Bay. So I think Minnesota still has a shot in the NFC.
Well said. Now looking at the NFC and who's coming out. Bucs the favorite at the moment, plus 280 going against the Falcons this weekend. You got the Packers and the Cardinals, Adam, chilling right there at plus 380 a pop, depending where you shop. Do you think there's value in going a little Green Bay? Or do you like the Bucs? Or are you going to wait to let the NFC shake out a little in terms of firing on futures there?
I lean towards the Buccaneers, but it's close because the Packers find ways to win. I'm one of those that kind of doubts them. You know, last year, they were the 1 seed. They lost in the NFC Championship game to Tampa Bay. You know, so Brady went in there and won. But Green Bay also is going to get healthier. They've had some issues on the offensive line. Defensively is where they really improved. Jair Alexander could be back, Zadarius Smith, so that's going to help. Aaron Rodgers has this rest with the bye week for his toe. My biggest problem with them is in the playoffs, in a big game, where are the playmakers outside of Devontae Adams? So if Tampa is able to not take him out completely, but minimize him, who's beating you? They have not improved on the offensive side of the ball. And that's why Aaron Rodgers has been frustrated, and I would be too. The Buccaneers, they just find a way to get it done. They're not as good on the road. Both teams are 5-0 at home, so the 1 seed is going to be really key here. But I think it matters more for Green Bay to get that home field. I still think Tampa Bay can go in there and win because they showed it last year. So it's really close, but I wouldn't argue either way. I lean towards Tampa, but I absolutely could see Green Bay coming out of the NFC.
I like it. All right, I'll get you out of here with this, Adam. The Chiefs right now, I tried to tell people a couple of weeks back, the value in the AFC West was there. They're now minus 195. Would you fire on that after the Broncos sauce the Chargers? Raiders get back into it a little bit with the win against Dallas. And on a Chiefs note, AFC plus 330. Do you still think they're the team to beat in the AFC overall?
I don't think they're the team to beat overall. Can they win it? Sure. But I'm still not convinced this offense is back. They've scored 20 points or fewer in 4 of the last 5 games. They had that explosion against the Raiders. They were not good against Dallas. Dallas defense shut them down after a couple of early drives. So I still have concerns. They beat the Giants by 3 recently, the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. So I don't think they're completely back. The thing is, though, that division is just not that good. I want to believe in the Chargers. They break my heart every single week. There's so much talent on that team. They've already beaten Kansas City, and they play them again, but I can't count on them. I don't believe in Denver or the Raiders, so I think they win the division, but I still don't think they're the best team in the AFC.
Adam, as always, laying down the knowledge. I appreciate you. And hey, recovering San Diego Charger fan over here. You don't have to tell me twice. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out Ronis on Twitter. And when I return, we're looking at early line movement. The public's not winning. I'm telling you where the money is. We'll be right back on the Better Half Hour.